Hello YouTube, my name is Liz and I am doing these videos as a way of accountability on my embarkment of a new journey to self-wellness and kind of just learning how to take care of myself in a better way and ensure that I am doing what I am supposed to be doing. I am very overweight, and so I really need to, start taking these things seriously. I have tried to lose weight in the past and it hasn't worked. Not because I don't know what I'm doing. I am the queen of knowing everything and doing nothing. So this is kind of my way of forcing myself to act and be accountable. Just a little background. I am 30 years old. I have moved to South Korea to be with my Korean husband, and we have 5 kids together among us, 4 from a previous marriage of his and 1 together. My oldest is 21, my youngest is 27 months, or 29 months now. I'm a bad mother. I can't remember how old she is. They go so fast. But there's many of them, and all of them girls. So as you can imagine, the bathroom is always busy. But we're not here to talk about the kids. We're here to talk about me and what I'm going to be doing from here on out. Being in Korea, as big as I am, actually being in Korea, even of a normal Western size, is very difficult. There are not clothes for women, even of an average Western size here in South Korea. The women are fairly petite and short and absolutely gorgeous, but we do not have the same typical body shapes, even if you're not morbidly obese in the way that I am. I am 175 centimeters tall, which is roughly about 5'9", and I weigh 134 kilograms, which is 295 pounds. So tipping the scales, almost getting to 300 pounds at this point. And oh, I can feel it. I can definitely feel it. Just a little, I guess I should just show you. So there's a record of how big I am, visibly. So even though I kind of carry my weight well from the front, not that I would say that this is attractive by any means, for myself, it doesn't look that bad. And then you turn to the side and I still look like I am 9 months pregnant, the same way I did when I was 9 months pregnant. This is the back. You can see I got some arm everything. Pretty big girl. I've been blessed to carry my weight well for the majority of my life. I've always been a little bit bigger, except when I was, 18, fresh off the farm. But even then I was 180 pounds. And I was at that weight. So, my goal is to get back down to somewhere between 170 and 180 pounds, or like 80 kilos. And it's gonna be a long and bumpy ride. It's hard to explain how somebody gets to this size. And I know that a lot of people, who are healthy and maybe who have always been healthy, and even those who have not always been healthy but maybe aren't this big. I know I certainly thought this way when I was, still, even when I was 200 pounds and 250 pounds, I always thought to myself, like, I'll never get that big. I'll never allow myself to get 300 pounds or close to 300 pounds. And here I am. And, you know, part of the reason why I'm coming on here like this, you know, no makeup, my hair's not done. Like, I just spent the entire day cleaning the house. So I'm sweaty, I'm gross. But this is me as real and as honest as I can be, and as vulnerable as I can be too, because I have tried everything that I can think of. And I know that there's got to be a reason why this isn't working. And I'm terrified to post this video. I'm terrified that people I know will see it. Because I don't think that the people that I grew up with, or even my own family in America, realize how big I have gotten. You know, you hear the word, you know, you hear the number like, oh yeah, you know, I'm like 180 or 280, or hey, I'm like 290. It sounds like a really, really big number, and you have this idea of what that could look like. But when you look at me from like here up, I don't scream like super, super, you know, morbidly obese. And then you see me and I'm like, oh, wow, she really is that big. Yes, I am. So I'm kind of afraid. I'm not going to lie. I'm terrified for people to see this, but I have to do something, because I can't keep living this way. My husband right now is deployed to Lebanon, and he is part of the Korean military. He's special forces, Korean special forces, and he looks amazing, and he is super healthy, and you know, he's super handsome. And I feel like I need to be doing more on my side, on my part, not just for my own health and the health, you know, for my children and everything else, but also for my relationship in my marriage. And it's hard to admit when you're at fault for a lot of things. And I've done a lot of soul searching recently, and I know that there's been a big breakdown, intimacy-wise, in my marriage because of my weight. And you know, it's not even. Let me throw something out there right away. It's not my husband. My husband has never ever said anything negative about my weight. And I mean, he said things like, you know, yeah, I mean, if this is what you want to be healthier, then that's great. I'll do anything I can to support you. But he's never, you know, it's never stopped him. Let's put it that way. So, which is, you know, is great. But it does stop me. And it is very difficult for me to be free and inhibited and all of these things sexually, or even just go out, because it's not just that I'm obese. I'm obese in South Korea. And so I am a white woman in a sea of Asian women who are gorgeous, and I'm morbidly obese, and I am stared at every day like I am a zoo animal. And I would probably be stared at that way by some people anyway, because I am, you know, obviously not Korean. But it has been said by people close to my husband, to my face even, that I should be ashamed of my body, and I should be ashamed of myself for not trying to look better for my husband. And there's a lot of negativity between me and some people that me and my husband have to associate with on a daily basis, because they are so judgmental here on weight. And yeah, it can be very difficult, and it does break you down emotionally every day, or it does for me. And so I don't go out if I don't have to, and I don't even walk my daughter to her preschool or her like Orinijib because people look at me on the streets and it's embarrassing and I'm tired of being stared at. But all of this is my fault. So I know that this is me not taking care of myself the way I should be taking care of myself. And I'm going to do everything that I can to start taking care of myself. I know what to do. I just need to do it. They say that obesity is caused by trauma. Aside from like clinical obesity, which is, could be caused by a thyroid disorder or something. But they say people without medical reasons for having obesity, most common reason for obesity is trauma. And I have definitely sustained trauma repeatedly for the entire duration of my lifetime. And I am working on going through the stages of healing for all of those things. And I think I'm doing a pretty darn good job. I feel much better, much stronger as a person, which is probably why I'm now ready to move forward and take care of not just, the mental, emotional impact of what's happened, but also the physical impact of what I've done as a coping mechanism to those traumas. So I have heard a lot about keto, and I have tried many different things in the past. I haven't tried keto yet, so I'm interested to see how it's going to go. In the past, I have done low carb vegan, raw vegan, which was actually my favorite, believe it or not. I was the raw vegan before I met my husband. Before I went raw vegan, they told me that I was not going to ever have kids, because I was not having a menstruation and all of these things. And then I went vegan and I got my menstruation back, and then I went raw vegan and it felt amazing. And then I stopped doing raw vegan for a little while because I couldn't get enough calories. And then I met my husband and we got married and I got pregnant like immediately. And I was just like blown away. And I had a wonderful, beautiful, completely healthy little girl, and yay. But being vegan in Korea, or especially raw vegan in Korea, is a little bit more difficult. I can do it. I could do it if I so chose, but to be honest, it's with a family of 7, that being raw vegan in a Korean family of 7 is very, very difficult. And I just do not have the willpower yet to transition. Eventually, actually, I would like to go back to vegan because environmental impact and all of those things. But right now I'm going to try and do keto. I'm going to try and do as close to, or with as little meat as possible, keto, because meat is a carcinogen, the impact it has on the environment and all of these things. So I do actually, I'm going to try and go as vegetarian as I can on keto. I've heard it's really difficult though to get protein when you're doing keto, because all of your main sources of protein, like your beans and your lentils and things like, and potatoes, which are great sources of protein, are also carbohydrates, really, really, really big, full, beautiful, wonderful carbohydrates. And so that kind of negates the ability to eat those foods. So until I can find the best way to do that, I will just have to rely a little bit on protein from animals. for a little while. So that's the end of part 1.